Hi, you guys. Welcome to our Rainbow Business event. We're really excited about this event. I don't think we've ever done one quite like this, at least not with this group. We're calling it a Rainbow event because each one of the faces on here represent a different rank in the company. We all have kind of different colors, different gems or jewels, and we're really, really excited to talk to you about the blessings of the business side of Plexus. And as I look over the faces on my screen right now, I don't know that anybody joined for the business part of it, but we all jumped in at some point or another. They're going to share their stories with you. I cannot wait to hear. But I will just tell you 2 seconds of my story. I'm an Emerald ambassador. And you guys okay, they sent me to Hawaii. Okay, they sent me to Hawaii when I didn't think I would ever get to go to Hawaii. Like me? So that's all I'm going to say about my story. But first, I want to introduce you to my friend, Michaela. She is our first rank in the company, Silver. I'm going to let her talk. She is amazing. You're going to love to hear from her.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Carrie. My name is Michaela. I am a Silver Ambassador with Plexus. So what that means is it is the first rank that you can achieve within this company. I got here simply just by asking 3 friends to do this with me. If I can ask 3 friends, I know all you can. Some of you, I'm just a homebody. So 3 friends, 3 family members, accountability partners, however you want to look at it. That's all it takes. And I am so thankful. So being Silver, I don't know what I would do without Plexus now. So honestly, I didn't come into it to do the business side. I hopped on, I learned a little bit about the products, just enough to get me started. Seeing a lot of people that I know personally achieve so much with the extra income that they have, I couldn't just keep this all to myself. So I had to share with everyone I know. So I'm a mom, I am a wife, I work full-time at a dental office, so I already have a little bit on my plate, but I 110% make the time for Plexus because it's so worth it. Not only do I not have to spend anything out of my pocket to get my products paid for, I can put a little bit into my savings. My husband and I are recently trying to buy a new home, so that definitely helps. So, I mean, there's just so many things. With everything, I want to be healthy. The income is just great. I know that a lot of you, I didn't want to share anything. I'm an introvert at times, like I said, but you know, it's just helped me so much. I know where I am with Plexus now. I want to keep climbing that mountain. The first rank, I am here. I have so much more to go. There's so many opportunities with all of the other, any comparing companies that I have done research with. This is the #1 compensation plan. So I'm just super excited to be here. I know where I was before Plexus. I know where I am now, and I'm not going back, and I'm just going to keep climbing. So that is my little bit of a story of being a Silver Ambassador, and I know if I can do it, definitely you can too.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I mean, how inspiring that you still go to work, you still have a full-time job, you have a baby. Mine's crying right now, you could probably hear. But I mean, how inspiring that you make the time, like you see the value of the business, and that those things would be a reason for somebody to not do the business, and you're saying, hey, this is important. I see opportunity here and I'm going to jump on it. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Our next color of this rainbow is gold. We have a gold ambassador with us, my dear friend, Stacy. She's going to jump on and share what it means to her to be a gold ambassador.
Hi, guys. Well, first of all, like Michaela said, I did not want to be part of the business at all. I had previously done other networking, and actually it put me into debt. And so I had major guilt because I was trying to provide for my family. I too am a stay-at-home mom, And my husband has a good job, but 3 weeks ago, he was told that his overtime was going to be cut until further notice. And that took away $300 a week. So the moment I hit gold was the moment that his work told him that overtime was a no-go for a while now. So I am beyond grateful for that. Being part of Plexus has been absolutely amazing. It's changed my life. I struggled with anxiety and depression before Plexus, and tried so many other products and never found relief. I wasn't the mom that I wanted to be, always on the couch, tired, exhausted, just grouchy all the time. And I knew that wasn't the mom or the wife that I wanted to be, and something had to change. So July of 2019, Plexus came into my life, and I was very skeptical. And like I said, I never wanted to do the business. I said, nope, not happening. I've already been down that route. And I put my family's finances in debt. So I decided to just do the products. And then around the end of November and December of that same year, I had noticed so much difference between my anxiety and depression, also restless body. I had terrible restless body and body twitches that nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. And since starting Plexus, those are completely gone. And it's amazing. And it's something I struggled with for over 15 years. So it's great to finally have relief. And so I thought that since I was actually seeing results for something that was all natural, why not get my products paid for? Why not see if I have 3 friends who would want to also get healthy because these products actually work? So that's what I did. I found 3 friends, and they joined me. And when I got that bonus, even just that bonus, it was enough to be like, okay, I'm actually going to get paid. Like, this is pretty cool. And my products are paid for. And so I don't have that mom guilt of spending money on myself anymore. And now with hitting gold, that has helped. It's helping me. I have been able to pay off some of my daughter's medical bills. And believe me, she has had a lot of medical bills. I've been able to pay some of those off. I've been able to just pay bills since my husband's paychecks aren't what we're used to. I've been able to help out with that. I no longer have to go through the grocery store and calculate either with the calculator or in my head if we can afford something or not. And I'm getting healthy all while making money for my family and actually feel like I'm contributing. So it's absolutely wonderful, and I can't thank Plexus enough. It's just, it's been a blessing, and I have so many goals, and one of my goals is to be a jewel. So I am reaching for the stars, and I hope to be, just moving on up and just, seeing what else I can do for my family. So that's a little bit of my story.
Love that. Thank you for sharing. I love how you come alongside your husband and say, I have this for you. And I mean, how fun is that to contribute financially to the household? Like, it's just feels good. You know what I mean? So, and then you use the D word, debt. And that's something that so many people can relate to. So thank you for sharing your story. Our next ambassador is my good friend, Elizabeth King, Senior Gold Ambassador. This girl works her tail off. She loves people hard, and I'm so excited to hear from her.
Hey friends, my name's Elizabeth, and I am a wife and mama of 6. I live in Wyoming, and we have a small homestead that we live on. I am a Senior Gold Ambassador with Plexus, and like everyone else that you've heard from so far, when I started Plexus, I did not want anything to do with the business. I was not good at selling things, and I'm a pretty quiet person. I like to stay home. I did not like when people invited me to their home parties. I didn't want to go, and I wasn't going to ask anyone to come to one that I was having either. And so network marketing was kind of out for me. I didn't want to do it. But we started the products, and I quickly fell in love with them. They were changing our health, and I had recently become a certified health and wellness coach. And the products and the company were right in line with what I believed and what I had recently learned in my classes. And so I also knew that there were so many people that were struggling, and this could help them, like not only physically, but financially. So I began to share, and I reached out to family and friends, and my husband said I could do it as long as I was making $50 to cover some of our products. And so that was my goal, $50. And I have to say my paycheck now covers all of our products for a family of 8. And so that's really fun. One of the things that I will never forget was our first Christmas with Plexus. So, money at Christmas time is really tight and it's stressful. And I was able to pay for all of the presents for my husband and my kids. I actually bought him 2 goats to start out with. And so I was able to pay for everything. And, past Christmases, we had struggled. And we put everything on credit cards, which is horrible. And then January comes along and you actually have to pay for all of that stuff. And it's stressful. It puts a strain on your marriage and your family. And so being able to start out the new year without debt and money in our pockets, we were ahead of the game. And it was just a huge relief and a burden lifted off of our shoulders. And so something else, when I first started, I made a vision board. It's right over here. And I put right in the middle a big red barn right in that. And last summer, we made that dream a reality. I can actually look out my window over here and see that big red barn. And that was really fun to help pay for that. We didn't think we were going to be able to do that for another 5 or more years because we have, one income or a one-income family, and so money's always been tight. So one of the biggest blessings from this extra income is just not stressing about money. I get to spend more time with my husband and more time with my kids, making memories. We get to travel. We've been on a few missions trips, and they've been able to help others and have fun doing that. We just get to do all of the fun stuff. And I'm thankful that I said yes to this opportunity, and I stepped completely out of my comfort zone, and I gave Plexus a shot.
Oh my gosh. So what I'm taking away from this is if you want baby goats, get into Plexus. Is that what I heard?
Yes, for sure.
What I really did hear you say was that you're quiet. And it's not like you were going to go out and tell people, buy Plexus, buy Plexus, buy Plexus, and all these preconceived notions of what maybe you thought network marketing was. And I heard you say you didn't have dreams of being at the top of an MLM company. And yet here you are, you saw an opportunity. And even with hesitancy, you walked through an open door. And because of that, so many blessings have come from that, including a very cute red barn. So that is amazing. Thank you for sharing. And you guys, I'm really excited to talk to Andrea next. I actually don't know her business testimony, so I am all ears. Take it, girlfriend.
Thanks, Carrie. Yes, so Andrea, I am a new Ruby ambassador. I have been using these amazing Plexus products for just a little over 3 years now, and they have been complete game changers for me and my health. And I normally get to talk a lot about my health testimony, so tonight's a little different to talk about the financial piece. But you guys, it has been such a blessing, and I will say an unexpected blessing. So prior to Plexus, I was a hot mess mom, really struggling with fatigue, digestive issues, daily headaches, moodiness, anxiety, like all the things, really a hot mess. And I needed a solution for my health to be the best mom and wife I had always dreamt of being. So when I dove into Plexus, I was hopeful, but I was also nervous. My husband and I had a really long conversation about if I was going to try these products, I needed to figure out a way to get them paid for. So my first thing that one of my first goals was to truly get the products paid for so I could see and give these products time to work. And so I set out after that. I had an amazing friend and sponsor that was like, you can totally do this. And so within the first month, I met that goal. I was like, I'm going to prove my husband that I can get these products paid for. And I was one that the products worked for pretty darn quickly. And so I knew that we had gold, and I knew that this was going to help me feel my best. And so after month 1, I have not paid for my products since, and I have continued to work my way up. And you guys, I had no background in MLMs. I didn't even really know what they were, to be honest, which is kind of embarrassing. But I just knew these products helped me feel better. And I just organically started sharing with my family and friends. And all of a sudden, I was getting paychecks. And I was like, Catherine, what is this? Like, why did I get all this money? Like, I was confused, and she had to explain to me, we get paid so many different ways. Like, this company is such a blessing, and is just, they spoil us. And so, number 1, I got my products paid for. During that same time, my husband's truck broke down. And you guys, we were the typical family living paycheck to paycheck, like so many of us are. We were in debt from putting so many different things on credit card, whether it was because of medical issues or life happening. I swear things don't come in 3s for us. They came in like 6s. Our truck would break down. We needed a new tranny. Not a month later, my van broke down and it needed a new motor. Like, okay. We needed a new pump for our well, and my parents had a house fire during that within like a couple months of each other. And that's when I started to catch the vision. I was able to we were able to pay for some of that rather than putting it on the credit card and watching that debt mount up. I also, I have my bachelor's and master's degree, so I have a lot of student loan debt. And I just assumed that was going to be life, that I was going to be paying for that the rest of my life. And now having Plexus, the financial blessing, you guys, I get so emotional thinking about how it has changed our life dramatically. And just to know that I was looking for better health and not even realizing the stress, the financial stress that was a strain for our marriage. And just honestly waking up in the morning and not having that like tightness in your chest and that lump in your throat. Like, the first thing I would do is in the morning is I would pull up our bank account to make sure that our bills weren't processed before our checks cleared. Okay. And we have great jobs. I have a full-time income. My husband has a full-time income, but we made terrible decisions years ago that we were trying to catch up with, and we would get ahead. And then all of a sudden life would happen again. And it was like, we just could not catch up. And so Plexus has been a true blessing for us. And I too made a vision board, and I'm looking at it. It's right in front of me, and I'm checking the things off my pictures that I have on the board. And it's almost like I need to add more to it now because we've been able to check so many things off. We're able to enjoy trips. I had an all paid for trip to California for my husband and I last year. Amazing. And just simple things like spoiling our boys, being able to bless others. Like, I love to give, and we just haven't been able to do that. So the fact that Plexus has blessed us to be able to bless others is just so amazing. So thank you for hearing a little bit about my story.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing. And how neat it was that God just kind of orchestrated that time, and you were already involved in Plexus a little bit, and then he gave you all these things, all these needs, not fun things, and you had this opportunity to make some more money, even though you had a full-time job, even though your husband has a full-time job. You had an opportunity, and when the needs presented itself, you had plan B. So very, very cool. And I love how you said, I checked things first thing in the morning, but we had good jobs. You know, it's not like you weren't working. It's not like you were a stay-at-home mom like me or, you know, Elizabeth, and we're not bringing in extra income. You're still working, and it was still hard. I feel like that's so relatable. So thank you for sharing. Now my co-admin cohort, good friend, Mandy Avery, who is a senior Ruby. And this girl, I just love her to pieces. Her team loves her to pieces. And I can't wait for you to share your story, girlfriend.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mandy Avery, and I am from Southeast Minnesota. I'm a mama to a 2-year-old and loving life. But okay, I was thinking about my Plexus story. You know what? I am so thankful also for this business. When I got started, I actually went to my mother-in-law's house. We watched a DVD about Plexus. This was back when they used to send you a DVD, okay? I saw all these people, they were smiling. They went to Hawaii, and I was like, sign me up. So that night we signed up, and I think I took half a sip of pink drink and then blasted my Facebook with Plexus because I was so excited. I knew that my mother-in-law loved the products, and so I could feel her excitement. I could see that other people were enjoying it. So I just started sharing like immediately. And the fun part was my second month of sharing, I remember sitting on the couch with my friend Katie, and we were like, oh, we want to go to the Minnesota State Fair, which is like a huge deal here, okay? But the corn dogs are like $20. So you got to drop like $1,000 if you're going to go. And I had to pay bills, and so I'm sorry, Katie, we can't go. And then I can't even make this up. I got an email that day. It was like, you've got money. I checked it, and it was an email from Plexus. And I was able to, it was enough to pay the rent for our apartment at the time. And I said to my husband, we're going to the state fair. And so we went and got the big corn dogs. And it was awesome. It was so awesome. And so now looking back on all of that, you know, I was able to leave after I had my daughter. I was able to leave my ministry job and be a stay-at-home mom. And I remember looking at my husband with tears in my eyes when we had Ella and just saying, thank God for Plexus. I want to be home with her. I didn't know that when I was pregnant, but after I had her, then it all came to fruition. Like, hey, I want to be home with my daughter, and I get to do that and help people. It's just the best. So yeah, that's my story.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And the big corn dogs. I love it. And you know, some women love to go to work. You know, some people love to go to work, and that is totally okay to be a mom who works outside of the home. And then there's some moms who work outside of the home out of necessity, not because it's their desire to do so. And how neat that you're able to stay home and, you know, not lose out on an income, but have it be replaced. And, you know, sky's the limit as far as that. So very, very cool. Thank you for sharing. Okay, now one of my very best friends, my business partner, my Hawaiian vacation traveler. This is Casey Vogel, and she's an Emerald ambassador. And I know her story, and I know you're gonna love it.
Oh gosh. Okay, guys. Prior to Plexus, we weren't even making it from paycheck to the next paycheck. Okay. We did the Dave Ramsey thing, and we couldn't figure out how we had more money going out than coming in, but things were getting covered. Thank you, Lord. That's all I can say. But guys, when you are crying daily, you're stressed to the max because you don't want to really, what it came down to is I didn't want to share what was taking place within our finances with my husband because I knew he was already stressed. So I tried to figure it out on my own. Big mistake. I don't recommend that. Communicate, because especially if you're not good with numbers at that time. Okay. I tried so hard to be really careful with our spending, and still the debt accumulated to the point where I was just like, I don't even know what's going on. And when those little things turn into big things, like everyone's been sharing, where, oh my goodness, I have to replace what in my car? How much is that? It just made that pressure build and build and build. So crying in the grocery store aisle because you don't know what else you can eliminate in order to reduce the number on your calculator so that you can feed your family what they need, but at the same time stay within your budget so that it's not just adding that much more to your debt. It was a real thing over and over. But like everyone else was saying, we were working hard. I was a stay-at-home mom, but I picked up every side job I could. Photography, cleaning, organizing. I worked every possible chance that I could. So on top of the stress of finances, there was also medical expenses while I was trying to figure out what in the world was going on with my daughter's health. And little did I realize that I myself was very unhealthy and hormonal. So at a crazy person on top of all of the stress, it was not a very happy home. But fast forward 5 years to right now, like I could get emotional if I really paused and really thought about this. I no longer have to be the recipient of gifts. I get to be the giver. People blessed us over and over and over. Now I get to be the giver. I get to see the tears come down the faces. They're like, how did you know we needed that? Because I was in your shoes. Because I can read your subtle cues without you even realizing that you're giving them. Because that was me. And the freedom to be able to bless others and to make larger payments on debt. So we're actually getting somewhere rather than we go, pay the minimum. Oh, the interest is way more than the minimum. It's amazing. And there's no limit to being able to continue to grow your income with this business because they don't put a cap with Plexus. You get to keep growing and you get to dream about anything, whether that's for your own family or for how you can impact the lives of other families. So I'm gonna wrap it up right there, but I could go on.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Such a vulnerable story. And I think people can relate to that. Not everybody's willing to talk about it. But man, so vulnerable, so good. Rachel and Monica, we have 6 minutes left. So you guys, next is my good friend Monica. Oh goodness, she has mentored me and poured into me, and she's a mom. She's wonderful. You're gonna love to hear from her.
Hey guys, so I will do my best to keep this really brief. I started Plexus about 6 years ago, a little more than that. And when I started, it was simply because I needed energy. I was so desperate for energy. And so I started on the products, and you know what? They delivered. And I started learning about the products right away as I was trying them. And the more I learned, the more I realized, oh my goodness, everybody in the world needs what I have. And I was not initially interested in the business, but once I realized what I had in my hands, and then I started looking at the compensation plan, I mean, it was fair, it was generous, and it was something that anybody could do. It was totally achievable. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's achievable. And I realized that it was like a perfect storm. And I'm like, I have to do something with this. I know God put this in my life for a reason. And before joining Plexus, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was a stay-at-home mom of 3 girls at the time. We have 4 now. And we were paying the bills, but like many people have mentioned, having that extra to put away in savings or having that extra, to give to others the way that we wanted to, it just wasn't happening. That having the extra to get ahead on debt, it wasn't happening. And as a stay-at-home mom, I felt a little bit trapped, like, how, I can't help. Like I kept trying, there were different things I tried to do to help. Like I was actually in real estate as well, part-time. But that's a tough business, especially as a mom. It's a lot of evenings, a lot of weekends, and it wasn't something I love doing. Okay. So anyway, I started sharing Plexus, and before I knew it, I had a great part-time income coming into my bank account every month as a stay-at-home mom, and I was just blown away. And I kept sharing and I kept growing my business. And by the 3-year mark, I hit that 6-figure earner level, which still blows my mind that's impossible. And now 6 years in, I just keep seeing it grow and grow. And obviously, this has impacted our lives in a huge way financially. One thing I just want to mention really quick is when I joined Plexus, we were living in a rental house and we had some land and we were really hoping to build on it. And we realized it started becoming clear that we really didn't have enough money to do that. And so we ended up selling the land and buying a house. Well, we just actually finished building our dream farmhouse. Just moved in a couple months ago, and I honestly thought that that was never going to happen. It was a dream that we'd had since we were newly married. We've always wanted to build, and this is something that Plexus has helped us to accomplish. And the other thing that I love about Plexus is that you can't do this on your own. You can't do this without first helping other people to succeed. This is not something where you're stepping on top of other people to get to the top. It's something where you are helping, you're making an impact on other people's lives in order to make an income. That income does not come without first making the impact and helping other people to succeed. So it's just so unique and so amazing. And we're very, very grateful for Plexus.
Oh, I love that. I love that. What I hear you saying is compensation plan is fair and achievable. I love that. And I couldn't agree more. And yay for the farmhouse. Oh, you guys, next, last but not least, is one of my mentors, Rachel Anderson. She is wonderful and she has quite the business story.
There we go. I will go as fast as I can. So I'm going to give you guys some lists before we run out of time. Food shelves, 3 jobs, medical debt, like way past my eyeballs, a Dave Ramsey husband who was miserable because we could not catch up on those medical bills. We had emergencies. We too lived paycheck to paycheck, but Keith was really good with money. So we were okay until that medical that happened and could not keep up. I would call Keith from Walmart to see if I could buy my kids socks. I'm not even exaggerating. It makes me want to cry. And today, 2 of our 3 kids have graduated from college debt-free because of Plexus. My youngest has choices. She's going to college in the fall, and she's going to become an entrepreneur and start her own business and train police dogs. This has been her dream her whole life, and she can afford to do it because her mom and dad can help her. Our kids went to Christian school their whole life. That's very expensive. There was never money set aside for college. We couldn't do it. We were paying tuition. And so when Plexus came into our home, when I was working those 3 jobs, when I was tired and miserable and crabby, and we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, and we ate a lot of pancakes. That first big check after I'd been with the company for 3 weeks, we filled a cart up at Walmart. We didn't go to the food shelf at church anymore where they fed us to supplement our income because they couldn't afford to pay us very well. My girls got their own pack of socks. My son got to get his own bag of cereal. And that was a big deal, a really big deal. And I remember him standing in that cereal aisle looking, debating which one do I get to pick because I don't have to share it with my sisters this week, those honkin' multi-meal bags of cereal. It was amazing. And the girls were all talking about their dream board. And I too had things on our dream board those first couple of years with Plexus. I have a dream board sitting next to me right now. And because looking at a goal and planning for it allows you to envision it and move toward it. And so we have kayaks at our lake property. We have paddle boards for all of the cousins. I bought chickens, got chickens and a little cute coop. And that was the last thing on my board. If you follow me on Facebook, I do a lot of posting from my front porch. And that was always a dream to have a front porch. And God has provided this beautiful 5-acre piece of land with a home and a lake in my backyard. And I look at the swans every day, and I have a front porch where I sit with my phone and do my work and help other people find their dreams, build a legacy for their family. I think knowing that our kids don't have to face the same struggles that we did is a huge gift. My girls don't have a mom who doesn't feel good, who talks bad about herself anymore. and therefore my girls don't talk bad about themselves. They don't have negative body images because their mama doesn't anymore. And I'm just so grateful for that. And so knowing there are a lot of you watching this today who maybe feel like, I got nothing left. I'm sick of pancakes. I'm tired of ramen noodles. Just blown away by the fact that God has given us this amazing opportunity. And I too did other network marketing companies, and like Stacy, they all put us into debt. And so Plexus is so different, and I'm so grateful for that. And the last thing I'll share really quick, and then we can go, but my husband, I said, was so stressed. He was a Dave Ramsey kind of a guy, and we had so much debt. He was not himself. And that first trip that I earned with the company, and we went to Hawaii, we went to Maui, and we rented a Jeep. The company pays for you to rent a vehicle. And so I said, I want a Jeep. That was his dream car. And we took the top off, and we're driving down a road, and I could almost feel my husband, because he was watching these trails going off into this tall grass that looked over the ocean. And I'm like, just do it, babe. And he got the biggest grin on his face, and he went whipping into that tall grass, and we pounded through this crazy vegetation until we got to this overlook. And there was the ocean, and we could never afford to go to Hawaii either. That was my dream for our 20th anniversary. Our 20th anniversary came and went. There's no money for Hawaii. And my husband, because of the financial burden that he had been carrying for so many years, like, became this really fun guy that I forgot even existed, because he could sleep at night because he wasn't stressed about how he was going to pay the bills and put shoes on our kids' feet. So that's my Plexus blessing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's okay. Poor sweet baby girl.
She was in bed. Thank you for sharing. Medical debt is a real struggle for so many people. And oh my goodness. And it's so true. Plexus is good for marriages. That income is good for marriages, because our husbands do carry a lot of the burden. I think my thing is echoing right now, so I'm going to end this, but thank you guys so much. I pray over this group that we reached some people, and that this might be an opportunity that somebody needs to hear about. So thank you for joining us tonight, you guys.